training and development, flexible schedules, employee meal discounts, and scholarship opportunities. Burger King is an equal opportunity employer. Interested job seekers should text 007-8075 to 31063 to apply. Must be at least 16 years of age.
Hello, this is Rick Vossen with RV of Panama City, your local Stormore portable building dealer. We are located on 2241 East Baldwin Road, Panama City. Shopping for an 8-foot to 16-foot in width or 10-foot to 60-foot in length, cabin, garage, portable building, whatever the needs are. Remember, at Stormore, we can insulate our buildings. We can put electric on, thermal windows, transom dormers. There's so much we can do. Stormore Portable Buildings, 2241 East Baldwin Road.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271BN Mariana. Powered by Pepsi. 102.1, 104.3, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Lights, camera, action.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michael studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And good morning and welcome to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. It's an absolutely gorgeous Friday. We hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. We encourage you to go by and visit all of our sponsors. We've got so many wonderful people. Appreciate all of them. Went down to Stevenson Air Conditioning yesterday, saw Debbie. Wonderful people down there. Appreciate everything Jason does. Dr. Mitchell, man, he's like, hey, you know what? We got to get a new 2-ton unit. What am I going to do? I'm going to Stevenson Air Conditioning. Easy decision. Everybody does it. People, highly intelligent, successful people know Stevenson Air Conditioning is where I'm going to go. Just like this morning, highly successful people that have incredible careers decided to come in here this morning. Ron Mulvey, it's great to see you. You're looking good today.
It's because we want to surround ourselves with greatness. So we're
absolutely.
You
want to
soar with the Eagles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hang out with you for a couple hours this Friday morning.
No doubt about it. And our other special guest, he knows all about that. He's been with this special unit here for a long time. Coach Jim Bob Morant. How you doing, Jim Bob?
I'm doing all right.
You look good. You got your Mickey shirt on.
Yeah, I got my Mickey shirt on.
How was everything down at Disney World?
It was hot. It wasn't real crowded, but it was hot. It was pretty good weather.
Are they still masked out? Or
no, finally put the masks away.
Okay, good. Well, anyway, I'll get ready to say
don't
something.
even get me started either.
Ryan, real quick, I hit both you guys with this. A couple things. I want your input. Just give us a creep.
Can I ask you a question first?
Yes, sir.
When is the documentary of you guys coming out on Netflix, chronicling your coaching careers and the history?
Jim, when is it? We haven't signed a contract
I think it comes out in the fall.
Did you sign it?
I heard there was a lot of money behind that.
We're trying to decide. They're going to make a
now
lot
that
of money.
Netflix is kind of neutraled out a little bit. I heard they were about to launch.
Well,
your documentary.
you saw the Friday Night Lights.
Yep.
Well, what the big deal is, I had to be very careful. Because the situation, and Jim, when you read the script, everything, the situation with the school board and Eddie Williams, all those stories, the sexual, all this kind of stuff. So we had to be very careful with that. Lawyers had to look through everything. So everybody's going to freak out when this thing does hit Netflix. And so it's really kind of, we have not told anybody. And you kind of broke
I saw it leaked on this
website?
So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I don't know why they did. That was a national guy. That was in their national office. But, our lawyer over in Tallahassee had to go through everything, the script and all the kind of stuff. And she said, absolutely.
Signed off on it, ready to go.
But we haven't.
Yeah.
We haven't.
Okay.
And,
so you guys got to see it first.
Yeah, and I want to make dang sure. I don't know. I'm not really might. The money, wow. But I might not do it. I'm not sure. Hey, I want to ask you this. There is something that's happened locally. Coach Hudson now. The state championship coach of the year, man. The state coach of the year found a job pretty quick. And I've been bragging on Billy May, the principal over there at Bay High School. He has the ability to find out great people and goes hires them.
Didn't even have to look far.
Yeah, no. He's got 2 now from Bay High School. Coach Brown did a great job over there.
Mosley,
Mosley
came to Bay,
He's won a state championship before in his career. Now's at Bay. Big pickup there. And now baseball. Coach Starr did a great job over there. There's no doubt about that. But he was wanting to get out of it. He did. And now you get this. To me, it's a home run hit. Look what he did with basketball. Yeah. We didn't know much about the basketball coach. And all he did was win a championship for him. So Billy May's done a great job over there. But what did you think about it? As a parent here, because everybody keeps saying, well, what happened at Mosley? We don't know.
Yeah. It almost looks like this was planned, before it all came out. That's just my thought. But
This is Netflix too.
yeah. I mean, because for that to happen, for him to be let go or whatever it was called, and then him get the gig at Bay, there's probably got to been stuff working in prior to all that coming out. That would be my guess, but that's just a guess.
Yeah, Jim, what did you think when you heard about it?
It's not that I was surprised. It's just, somebody gets let go and he isn't renewed because, for his teaching contract, it's like, well, there must have been something there. So I like you say, Billy May's a good guy. He wouldn't hire somebody who's going to be potential problems for him. Yeah. So,
and I didn't like those ugly rumors.
Good for them. I mean, I know Jason Kovaleski's got to be happy because he's a Bay alum, and he wanted them to get John Hudson, so they got him. So.
Well, he's got big money to throw around, so he should probably be supporting that baseball program
the Max
now.
Fit baseball stadium.
Yeah. That's right. Jason will not be here today, so we can say all we want. He'll be here next Friday. Yeah, Jim, you hit on a little bit. There were some nasty rumors going out there, and we knew that, and everybody knew they were not true. And even the people most know had nothing to do, nothing like that. Nothing. Hudson's a fine man, a great baseball coach, and we had him on yesterday. We had a really good time with him with that. Now, the other thing I wanted to get you guys' opinion on, hunters. We got a lot of guys that hunt. And our president came out and said that, if you use a 22, it's a lot better. Okay, 9mm, no, that's ugly. That's
blow your whole lung
out. Your lung's gone. 22, we can dig it out. So they're going to try to pass something here. And I have guys that hunt always say, you need to say stuff about this. You need to bring it up. I said, well, it's kind of political. He goes, no, we're hunters. We're everything else, Second Amendment. I said, okay, well, hunting's kind of like a sport, so I guess I can. So we were hitting Tommy about it.
Yeah.
We were hitting Tommy about it. I said, Tommy.
Not to mention target shooting.
Yeah. So I asked Tommy, I said, you go bear hunting, you going to take that 22 pistol or 22 rifle? You going to be okay?
Or deer or elk.
Yeah.
Or anything.
Yeah.
Or anything.
Except a chipmunk or a squirrel.
A squirrel.
Yeah. Well, I got the slingshot as a backup, so.
Yeah. So it all started, and God bless these poor little kids out in Texas. That broke my heart when I found out. I was gone when it happened, then I found out about it. Man, it makes you sick. And the first thing you know how I am. I don't trust any of them. I'm going, wait a minute. How does this guy afford those two? You know how expensive those guns are?
Very.
And the ammo for
Especially
them?
nowadays with
and he had over 1,000
Yeah.
rounds. Just that alone, he couldn't afford that.
Yeah.
So be very careful what happens in this country. Oh, nobody would ever. Yeah, okay, you're a fool if you don't think things happen. But anyway, I just said don't let them take your freedom away. I mean, we've already gave up. We don't even realize it. We've given up so much right so far, and just to go ahead and give in, you're absolutely insane. And I know so many people, thousands of people, that there ain't no way we're giving up our guns. I'm never giving up.
Did you know
my
May
gun.
was the largest single month of gun sales in the history
I think
of our
they're going to be
country?
surprised. They're going to push us too far, and they're going to be surprised.
Got to be careful.
Yeah. But anyway, what did you think about that when you heard about the 20? We can maybe have a BB gun. Or,
Yeah, I mean, without getting too political, I mean, it's just the continued ignorance.
That's what I'm saying.
That's all
That's
it
what
is.
leads this
Smoke
country.
and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors.
Unbelievable. Yes.
Yeah.
His head is shaking.
Yeah. Okay.
His head is shaking.
I'm
If
not
you're
a
on
gun.
Facebook, you can
I'm not
see
a gun owner. I never fired a gun in my life, but obviously I was a teacher for almost 40 years, taught history and all that stuff, and obviously you have a right to own one if that's your thing. And a 22, you might as well just, like I say, have a slingshot.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's not going to bring down many deer. Yeah.
Have you tried to buy 9mm shells?
Well, that's what
in the last, I mean, off and on, sometimes they're there. Most of the time, they're not.
Right.
I go to Kentucky and get my shells up there.
Right.
Because we got houses up there, blah, blah, blah. And target ranges and plenty of woods to go out and shoot. But I wait till I go up there. They're cheaper. They're usually available down here. You got to be there when the truck comes in, I guess.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You can't get them. You can't find anything. It's crazy. Well, you can't. Pretty soon they've the baby formula. Pretty soon we won't have food either. That's the next thing. They're going to start starve us to death and have soup kitchens, I guess. Who knows? All right, let's get into some other good positive stuff now.
There you go.
Top Gun. Have you seen Top Gun yet?
I have not, and I'm very, very disappointed I haven't. If you're listening, Beth, we got to go see Top Gun.
It reminds me of you and Beth. I mean, the first one was about him and Beth, I think.
It was actually a documentary.
Yeah, I mean,
considering I was born in
Take my
1985 and
breath
the movie came out in '86.
but they knew you were coming.
Yeah,
they knew
it was
going to
it was what do they call that? A prequel or
yeah,
whatever?
no doubt about that. Jim, you saw the first one. It was good.
Yeah, the first one was real good.
You like that?
I just
think
rewatched the first one.
Have you seen the new one? Have you
I
seen it?
know it's so. I'm
I
taking my
mean-
headphones off now.
Now, listen, I'm encouraging you to go see it.
My son's coming down
Take him.
Saturday for a week's vacation.
Yeah.
Him
Nice.
and I are going to sneak off. And
That'll be
You know,
awesome.
Ryan asked me off the air, should he take his son? I go, yeah, it's not. The first one had a couple of sex scenes. This one, maybe it did. I just don't remember it. Of course, I'm getting old now. I don't know. But I
could've
I
forgot.
enjoyed
that's when
it.
you get up, go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
when
maybe
you're
that's
old.
probably where I was at. Jim had texted me
You
something.
were going to get some more
take it.
candy out of the lobby.
Bring get us. You might have to get a second mortgage to go to the show with all the kids now. It's
Yeah.
crazy. But no, go see it. I think it's. I don't think it's great, but it's good. It is a good movie. Of course, Downton Abbey. If you want a good family entertainment, you take all of them to that. Now they might get bored in that one.
Yeah, that one may not have as much action and
Yeah,
energy
yeah,
as Top Gun.
You might even fall asleep in that one.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Anyway.
It's
Yeah,
cool.
get out there and see it. You have a good time. Be careful on Back Beach Road driving. Gulf Coast Jam got cranked up last night. A lot of people in town making a lot of money for Bay County. If you go on a business and you don't make money this weekend,
Yeah.
especially if a restaurant, it's your fault. You're not advertising with us. That's your problem. ESPN 104.3 will bring them and put them in your chair. Believe me. And Dave Dave runs that Gulf Coast Jam. He's one of the partners with that, and they do an incredible job. I know Mariah was there last night. I think they're going again tonight. Matter of fact, we got the kids tonight. But get out there and have a great time. I guess there's still tickets available. You can purchase them
Yeah,
there.
I think there's still some general admission tickets available.
Yeah.
There's no more parking passes available. I saw that was sold out this morning, but I think Old Dominion headlines tonight, and then Florida
Yeah.
Georgia Line headlines tomorrow night, which could be one of the last few shows that Florida Georgia Line plays together, because I know they're going to be going kind of a separate way here pretty soon.
Right. Well, Glenn's trying to get them all back together, but I don't know how it's working out with him. As a matter of fact, you know where Glenn is right now?
Probably playing
On
golf.
your golf course.
Yep.
Hey,
Yeah.
now he posted something online. He's trying to shoot his age, but he ended up shooting his weight. Do you know anything about that,
Well,
Ryan?
both of them
I
are real
don't
big.
know anything about that. I'm not really sure, but if he shot his weight, his golf game went south very, very quickly.
Well, hey, listen, his age ain't much better now.
Well, I mean, even if he weighs 150 pounds, if you shoot 150 on a golf course, you need to go somewhere else.
What is Glenn? What's Glenn, about 97, 98?
Years old?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's up there.
Shooting his age is not really an
He had his
accomplishment
Teddy-
anymore.
Teddy Roosevelt Rough Rider uniform on. Yeah, I got some Teddy back in the day.
Him
Back
and
in
Coach
'05.
Moon and their buddy Barry. They won a. I don't know how they always pull this off. They always complain about other people pencil whipping and all that. But we had a
Yeah.
tournament a couple Fridays ago, and they ended up being first place again.
There were a lot of questions
Yeah,
about that.
and then Manley was complaining about Gavin, our head pro, playing on one of the other teams because he hits the ball so far. And I was like, "You won. Why are you complaining?" But
That's Glenn.
they're very supportive, and we appreciate that.
All right, let's talk about some of our great people. And again, get out to Gulf Coast Jam this weekend, have a great time. And on the way back, or either the way over there, there's one place you want to stop. That's American Charlie. Yeah, Dave owns that also. Him and Mike are partners in that. We know he owns Firefly, how wonderful restaurant that is. American Charlie, the food's incredible. I do believe today, Friday, fried catfish, I think is a lunch special day. If it's not, I think they'll get it for you. Try it one time. You'll love it. It's unbelievable. Salads are incredible. And sometimes they have a nice little band playing there in the weekends. Go check it out. It's where Montego Bay used to be, an Edgewater shopping center. It's been remodeled. It's beautiful inside. It's like going to, and really, the American flag everywhere. If you're a first responder, you get a discount every single day. And also, don't forget about Chuck Tucker, South Oak Title and Closing. Beth, Cowart, Cody, all those guys they all use the big dog, and that is Chuck Tucker, South Oak Title and Closing. No surprises with Chuck. There's an office on Back Beach Road in Panama City Beach, right here on 77 by I Think Real Estate. Go by there and see Chuck. If you have any kind of real estate needs, you're going to any type of closing, make sure you demand Chuck Tucker. Buffalo Rock, appreciate them. Matter of fact, Buffalo Rock's sponsoring Gulf Coast Jam this week, too.
That they are.
Yeah, and we love those guys over there at Buffalo Rock. They've done so many great things for the community. Stevenson Air Conditioning, already talked about a wonderful job Jason does. And J. Michael's Restaurant, the legendary, man, it's been packed out lunchtime, dinner time. Everybody's down. It's a legendary place. Everybody's going to go.
It's summertime.
Yep, special It's a special place. Seafood's incredible. Coldest beer. J. Michael's Restaurant, Thomas Drive. We'll be right back with Jim Brandt, Ron Mulvey, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Okay, am I on right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Who am I talking to?
Richard Johnson and Spencer Hall, not Paul. Paul's off this week.
Okay, now who am I talking to again?
That's Richard Johnson and Spencer Hall.
See, two different dudes on TV.
That's us. We look good, live and in living color.
We do look good.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, weekdays 6 to 10 on 102.1 and 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Friday morning. Spotty showers and thunderstorms today and tonight. Partly sunny during the day, partly cloudy at night. 88 for the high and about 73 for the low. Southwest wind 10 to 15. Water temperature in the Gulf is 83. Sunny in the 80s for the upcoming weekend. This weather forecast has been brought to you by KHS and Associates, your source for affordable health insurance. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Hi folks, it's Tracy with Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Did you know that we have a master jeweler right here in the store? That's right, he has over 30 years experience in the art of repairing jewelry. Most repairs are done within 2 business days, so don't send your jewelry off for 6 weeks. Bring it to us at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We size rings and solder chains. We can reset your diamond into new settings and even custom design. You'll get your jewelry back quickly and looking as good as new. Tracy's Fine Jewelry, Bay County's trusted jeweler for over 45 years.
Signworks, a business serving businesses since 1985. Everything from signs and banners, vehicles and boats, magnetic and real estate signs, contractor signs, and much more. Signworks can do large format, full color printing too. Signworks, a real professional in the business world. Call Signworks at 785-8899. Signworks, 850-785-8899.
We don't know what his problem is,
Quit moaning, we're all hurting.
but it's probably hard to pronounce and untreatable.
I don't feel so good.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michael Studio, ESPN Northwest Florida.
That's part of that band plays some of those songs.
This is for Ryan Mulvey. He's got
Yeah. Top is that
environments out there.
Yeah. They made a movie about that golf course he ran over there. Yeah, that's the wrong song. My bad. Hey, and welcome back to 104. We on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Hey, listen, it's Friday. Pull over. Give us a call. We want to give away something sometime today. Now, if you don't call in, that's okay too. But we'd love somebody calling this morning. 850-215-6290. That's 215-62. What is it?
90.
Give us a call.
Same phone number has been for quite
Same
some
as
time.
your age. Come on, man.
Hey, cocaine's a hell of a drug, baby.
It's supposed to help with memory.
All right. Ron, golf. Well, we had a caller the other day about golf, and I said, call back on Friday because, I do know a lot about, as you know, I know a lot.
You are very well versed in everything outside of college football. I would love to talk to somebody about this whole LIV golf league. Obviously, there's been a lot of stuff in the news about it this week, especially with Dustin Johnson committing to play in that tournament, which is somewhat controversial. There's been some talk around it. It's a Saudi-backed golf league, not meaning it's played in Saudi Arabia. It just means the money is being backed, which there's a lot of it for this league. So, the PGA Tour came out in the beginning of May and basically said that they weren't going to grant people permission to play in that tour outside of the PGA Tour because they are members of the tour. They have contracts, all that stuff. Well, Dustin Johnson came out and said that he was not going to be banking that move. And then early this week, it was announced that Dustin Johnson will headline the 48-player field for the first event, which I believe is June 9th through 11th in London, followed by the next 3 events, which are actually going to be in the United States. So the field is, it's nothing crazy. You've got some good players. Obviously, Dustin Johnson, 3rd all-time on the money list, Masters champion, U.S. Open champion. But you also have Charles Schwartzel. You've got Louis Oosthuizen, who are both Masters champions as well. And you've got some young guys, too, that have kind of made the switch over there. Hudson Swafford, who played at Georgia, as well as Andy Ogletree, who played at Georgia Tech. They're both committed to the LIV Golf League. Obviously a lot of controversy. The thing with Dustin, he's made $74 million in his career on the PGA Tour, which is a lot of money. Third all-time behind Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson. $75 million. However, guess how much money he got to sign to play in this first season of the LIV Golf League? $125 million. So his reasoning behind
time out.
Yeah.
He played all years playing.
All these years
million.
since he turned pro back in 2007 or 2008 when we graduated from Coastal. But yeah, $74 million he's made. He's being paid $125 million to join this golf league. So for him, it was kind of he basically said,
hold out for the big money.
Just too hard to turn.
Don't do it.
Too hard to turn that money down.
Don't
so
do it.
he's kind of willing to.
Jim will be your
yeah,
be
your caddy.
Golly.
So his whole reasoning is the money, which I mean, in this day and age, can you really blame? What?
Go back to sorry. What is the deal?
They're funding it.
Okay,
they're funding it.
I get that, but why are we all turned against Saudi Arabia? The political deal.
Yeah, the war. Crimes against humanity and all that. Okay. Phil came out and said some stuff. Several months ago, and that's kind of what.
It's okay with NBA in China, though. Okay, all right, go ahead.
Yeah,
it is.
Yep,
yeah.
golfers.
It's different.
It's completely different. So, but yeah, so this league starts June 9th. It's got 48 players. What I think why you're seeing a lot of these other guys that aren't such big names on the PGA Tour going over there, what's different about the PGA Tour in this league, completely different format. Completely different. 54-hole tournaments, which is just 3 days versus 4 days on the PGA Tour. But also, there's no cut. So if you play in these tournaments, last place is $120,000. So even if you just go play in that event, you're going to leave with at least $120,000 versus on the PGA Tour, you got to make the cut to even make money. And even when you make the cut, to be in the $100,000 range, you're talking about top 10 that week. So for a lot of these guys that maybe aren't, making a whole ton of money on the PGA Tour, but are still great golfers, they can go over in this league and, play in 4 or 5 events and be a lot more financially sound than if they stayed on the PGA Tour. Now, who knows what the PGA Tour is going to do to these people because they're playing in this and they're members of the PGA Tour. David asked me yesterday afternoon, he said, what do you think the PGA Tour is going to do? I said, I have no idea, but they're going to have to do something because if they don't, more players will leave to go to that league. Are they going to ban? Are they going to fine them?
How can you blame them, though?
There's a lot of guys like Justin Thomas, Rory McIlroy. A lot of those guys have all said we are committed to the PGA Tour. We're not playing in that league, and that's the majority. That's the feelings of the majority of the big time players on the PGA Tour. Those guys are also making a lot more money than
Right.
You've got the top tier of the PGA Tour, and then you kind of got that middle tier that can go either way, and then you kind of got the lower tier that they're struggling to make cuts, struggling to pay their money. Some of these guys, it's that bottom end of the PGA Tour is not a life of luxury. That's for sure.
When you said that, I promise it popped in my mind. Kind of like what's going on in the SEC now. You got the lower end. Some of the schools that are trying to survive. To get in the bowl games, they want to keep it at 8 SEC games a year instead of 9.
Yeah.
With the big boys, hey, 9's okay with Alabama, Georgia.
They don't
okay.
care.
Yeah.
They don't
it's the
care.
same thing in golf. The one's making the big money, hey, but this not affect me. I'm good anyway.
Yeah.
But so is it just we all know how much money they have. It's incredible the amount of money over there.
Yep.
So they're just throwing big time money.
Huge money at it. Greg Norman's kind of involved as well. He's kind of been champion this league, trying to get people to play. First place in each event. There's 7 events throughout their season, and that it's an individual competition as well as a team competition. And then there's an individual winner for the whole season, and then there's a team match play the last week of the season. But first place each event is $4 million. So if you come in first out of 48 players, you're going to win $4 million. There's no event on the PGA Tour, even the majors, that is $4 million to win. So you're talking about a stark difference in money between the two. Now, again, longevity, you want to be on the PGA Tour for the next 30, 40 years. If you decide to jump to this Saudi league, the LIV league, who knows? Will they even allow you back on the PGA Tour? And what happens if the LIV League is not successful? What if they're not getting people to watch? What if they're not getting people to come out and the league only lasts a year or two? What's going to happen to these people that have come to the PGA Tour? Now, the Dustin Johnsons of the world, he may not even care, you know? And the majors is a whole nother ballgame. People are talking about, well, if they get banned from the PGA Tour, are they still going to be allowed to play in the majors? Well, the majors are independent from the PGA Tour. The Masters is its own entity. They could easily say you can't play, or they say they you could. And then the U.S. Open is run by the USGA. The British Open, or the Open Championship, is run by the R&A, kind of the USGA as well. And then the PGA Championship is actually the PGA of America, not the PGA Tour. So the majors are a little independent from the PGA Tour. That's why there's a whole nother qualifying for them. So guys like Dustin Johnson, they're like, well, I'll just play in the majors on the PGA Tour. Or does he even care? He's getting $125 million. He's made all this money already. What if he were to get hurt? What if he were, he's notorious for slipping down some stairs before the Masters tournament. So what if he has a career-ending injury? On the PGA Tour, you're not making any money anymore, but he's getting this huge chunk of money. So I see both sides of it, and it's a pretty interesting topic. But what's going to be really interesting is how many people are going to tune in, pay attention to the tournament. It's a completely different format, which is kind of cool.
How many golf courses? I'm sure their golf courses are unbelievable over there. Didn't Jack Nicholson?
Well,
go there?
they're not. There might be an event over there, but like the first event is in London, and then the next 3 events are in the United States of America.
Whoa, go back now. That you just threw me with that.
So it's funded. The money is funded by Saudi, but these tournaments are all over the world, mainly in Europe and a couple in the United States. So
why would Saudi do that? Wouldn't they want them to come to their country and play on their golf courses?
Yeah, that's a great question. I want to see if maybe the final is in Saudi Arabia.
Any politician get kicked back anywhere we can?
I'm sure there's something flying
So
around.
there's got to be
sure.
something. Probably something going on there. We laugh, but there probably is.
Probably true.
That threw me down. That blew my mind when you said that. I thought the idea was to get them over there.
So the 8 events are in. Yeah, there is one event in Saudi Arabia. The last of the 7-week event is in Saudi Arabia.
Is that the big one?
Well, there's one after that that's being played in Miami. So the first one is being played in London. The second one's being played in Portland, Oregon at Pumpkin Ridge, which is where they played some U.S. amateurs. The next one's being played in Bedminster, New Jersey at Trump National Golf Club, which is ironically the golf course that the PGA Championship was supposed to be played at this past month when they played the PGA Championship. They moved it to there in Southern Hills because it was a Trump golf course, which really has nothing to do with anything, but that's an amazing, amazing golf course. And then they're playing in Boston after that, and then Chicago.
Well, go back. Time out.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic.
So
that was from a few years
We just
ago.
went off the rails here.
Yeah, I just got PO'd. So the PGA has gotten political too?
Oh, yeah. Everybody
What's
is.
not? Everything is.
Everything is.
Okay.
That happened a
Political
couple
Golf
years ago.
Association. I mean, it's just like anything else.
Unbelievable. Okay.
Yep. Yeah,
Come
I
on,
just
man.
paid my
Focus.
dues to the PGA America too. So then they go to Boston, then they go to Chicago, then they go to Bangkok, Thailand, and then they go to I guess it's Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And then the final event of the season is hosted in Miami at Trump National Doral.
Okay. Now, I have read something somewhere. I can't remember who wrote the article or whatever, but there's some golf course over there that's supposed to be unbelievable.
Oh, in Dubai especially. Yeah,
that's it.
You've got some, and they're lighted as well, so you can play. Because it's cooler at night. So hot during the day.
How can you light a golf
with a lot of money? It's like putting big stadium lights on all 18 holes. You only need a couple per hole, but yeah, it's pretty incredible, but also extremely expensive to do.
And they don't.
Money's no object.
Yeah, in Dubai.
I wonder what that pays out. That particular that tournament.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what the field is. First place is $4 million. Last place is $120,000. So even if you come in dead last, you're still clearing $100,000.
Okay.
But yeah.
Do you think a middle-aged guy in his 60s who's never played a round of golf like James Hale could suddenly learn how to play golf and go over there and get at least 120 grand
that
for
kind
last
of money.
place?
I don't know if he's got the resume in the golf world to be invited to be.
I've watched golf once. Does that count?
Yeah.
Hey, you got a lot of pool. You could probably make it
Stayed at
happen.
a holiday.
Oh yeah, lots of pool with Greg Norman and all them.
All right, let's talk about some great sponsors we have.
You can't go and play, James.
Speaking of golf, Bay Point Golf.
Hey, we got live music tonight.
Oh, crap. That's called a cramp my leg. Hey, listen, let me tell you something. I did. I walked in that heat yesterday.
Drink more water.
Yeah. Bay Point Golf in Saudi Arabia, it's about the same. I mean, we just don't have the lights there. Is that the only difference?
Yeah, a lot of other things, too, as far as with how we treat our folks.
Hey, but we have Glenn Manley, by
That's
God.
right, baby. That's
He's
right.
out there right now probably listening.
Tell us what's going on at Bay Point.
So we've got a lot of, it's summertime. We've been talking about it. The beach traffic is getting really congested. We've added a couple, like today, live music. We didn't originally have live music scheduled today. We've added one today. We've got more live music next Friday. We've got trivia on June 17th. We've got a couple live music dates in July, including Will Thompson. And then we're looking to add a bingo night and maybe a few more things too. So
bingo! I can't wait for that.
We might see if you can call that for us. I just don't know if people can handle that because I don't know if we can handle all these women coming up and
the first R-rated bingo game ever played.
Yeah,
when I call it, I got to be able to play as I call it.
Yeah, there you go. We'll just use a computer system to pull the numbers.
Oh yeah, I got this one. Hey, I get out to seriously though with the crowds this week. If you live on.
We got a Low Country Boil next Thursday. We got so much fun stuff going on at the clubhouse.
Bay Point now, that's the thing to do. You don't have to go.
The marina's back open.
Oh, I've been walking back there now.
The boats are. It's so good to see the boats back in the marina.
Jim's big 64 yacht Vikings out there. It's gorgeous, man.
Yep.
I love
it says Jim Bob right on the back of it.
Jim Bob Brandt, the man. All right, we also got not only Bay Point's outstanding. We got Dr. Chad Mitchell. Any type of injury, you're playing golf, you get hurt, go see Chad Mitchell. They do an incredible job. Chad is at Southern Orthopedics. Give him a call. Go by and see him. We'll have him here Monday morning like we always do. And don't forget about Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road. The best barbecue. The turkey is unbelievable. Go down by and see Ethan. Ethan didn't make it in this week. He'll be here next week.
It's because all the...
No, I take that back. He was here Tuesday. Yeah. He's not going to be here next week. So it'd be
he should be doing well out there with that.
Oh, he was. I think he's over at Destin talking to Jimbo, getting everything ready for the NIL. More money for NIL. So we'll see how that works out. Speaking of that, we get back. I got to ask you about Coach Day. Don't forget, last night, where did I go last night? I went to El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. And we had a great time. They had a little musical going on.
2-for-1 margaritas, 4 to 7.
Julie that's what she had. She had one and got two. And you know what? I'll tell you that off the air. Go try it. It's the newest and best Mexican restaurant on Panama City Beach. We'll be right back. You listen to the legendary 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is the Panhandle's destination for the Atlanta Braves.
Got him swinging strike 3.
Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley, Ronald Acuna Jr. and the Braves are back.
Unbelievable.
And hungry for more. Listen to the world champion Atlanta Braves on a world champion radio station.
Rosario knocked the living daylights out of it.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
At Slim Chickens, craft means something. Craft means bacon. And oh, so crispy. Craft means a good cayenne kick. And all-natural buttermilk marinated, made fresh, perfectly fried chicken. All served on toasted brioche buns. At Slim Chickens, craft means quality. And for a limited time, try our new Memphis-style barbecue chicken sandwich. Try Slim's Craft Sandwiches today. Slim Chickens.
Golf Plus is your premier golf shop on the Gulf Coast. Not a big box or a chain store, but a local store with golf experts to serve you. An amazing array of demo and fitting products, plus a professional repair shop that can handle anything from a basic re-grip to a full set of re-shafts and everything in between. Golf Plus has locations in Dothan and Panama City Beach to serve you. Come see them today for all your golf needs. Located next to Firefly at the shops at Edgewater. Call 850-249-2726.
When it comes to moving your most valuable possessions, make sure you make the right choice for a smooth, hassle-free experience. Call the best, Smooth Moves of Northwest Florida. They are licensed and insured. They perform full-service residential and commercial moving services, packing and unpacking, and even furniture arrangement. Smooth Moves of Northwest Florida has the lowest hourly rates in the area. Whether you're moving across town or across the country, they can handle it. Smooth Moves of Northwest Florida. Veteran-owned and operated.
Call 850-319-8925.
Do you know who I am?
If he was the last person on Earth,
I'm kind of a big deal.
mankind would still have a chance.
We may have to repopulate the Earth.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm very important.
Live from the J. Michael Studio at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! Can't wait. Got our 2 tickets. We are going to be there in New Orleans on Sunday. I think it's September 4th or 3rd. I can't remember.
4th.
6:30 kickoff. ABC, FSU, LSU. I just want to see the LSU people. They're absolutely crazy. Looking forward to going and seeing that. A lot of people in the Panhandle are going. I encourage all of you, if you're thinking about going, go ahead. We got a call. Go ahead and get your hotel reservations, because the longer you wait, the prices will continue to go up. Get it now and save a little bit of money. Jim Bob, what do you got for us today on FSU?
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about their schedule and Mike Norvell. We got a caller here. Maybe this is a Florida State person.
All right, you want to take this phone call? Let's take this call. Good morning.
How are you, Coach Hale?
Oh, my God. Hey, Miss Julie, guess what? You just won
What?
yourself a $25 American Charlie gift certificate. How about that?
Oh, heck yeah, I've been wanting to go there.
Well, we had some great memories back in our younger days there. You remember that?
Absolutely.
Hey, don't tell any secrets on the air now. Come on now.
No, this is a young lady that I dated back in the early 70s.
Oh, my
I came down for spring break. She took me around, and she taught me a lot of things. We had a good time, really good time. And this is the first time I talked to her since, what, 79, 80?
Right, something like that.
Matter of fact, how old were you like in 79? Probably 10, 9?
I think I was in about 5th grade.
What are you doing, girl?
Living the dream, listening to your show.
Well, good. Keep on doing that. We need you to do that. Wait,
Absolutely.
Julie, let me ask you something. You've been involved in a lot of things here in Bay County. What did you think about when Coach Hudson was let go at Mosley and then Bay High hired him? And didn't you graduate from Bay, or was it Rutherford? I can't remember.
No, a Bay.
Bay. What did you like that hire over there?
Politics in Bay County is a little bit of a hot topic with me. So I don't know if you really want my full opinion.
Well, only if you want to give it. That's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. You might get to think that the pot stirred up pretty good. I don't know. That might be good.
I'm pretty good at that.
Well, listen, dear, thank you so much for calling. We appreciate you listening. Don't hang up. John's going to tell you what you got to do to get you a $25 American Charlie gift certificate. Go out there and tell him the coach sent you, okay?
Absolutely.
All right, don't hang up. Hold on for a minute.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Jim Bob, what do you got for us today on the mighty Seminoles?
Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about their schedule. This is going to require you to concentrate here and stay with the program here. I got their whole schedule. I picked out not randomly, 5 games I think they're going to win for sure. Okay, I'm just going to run over those real quick. Then we're going to pick the other ones that we're not sure about. I think they're going to beat Duquesne. I think they're going to beat Boston College. I think they're going to beat Georgia Tech. I think they're going to beat Syracuse. And I think they're going to defeat Louisiana Lafayette. Okay, so that's 5 wins. But I want you guys to intake. I'm going to write it down. We're going to keep track of this about the other ones. Okay, so let's start with the one that you said you're going to with LSU. All of us, are they going? Who's going to win there?
I don't know, Jim. I've been.
I need an answer.
That.
I don't need a hem and a haw.
I don't know right now. Let me think a minute.
No, you can't think. You got 5 seconds. Ryan, what do you think?
I'm going to go LSU.
LSU. All right. What do you got, Elvis?
I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's a home game. LSU.
Oh, thank you. All right. How about Louisville next week after that?
FSU.
Yeah.
FSU.
FSU. Okay. All right. Wake Forest 2 weeks after that.
Does Wake Forest still got their same quarterback coming back?
They got Wake Forest at home in Tallahassee.
I'm going Florida State.
Does Wake Forest still have that same kid they had last year?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go Wake Forest.
All right.
Sorry, FSU.
After that, we got North Carolina State.
NC State's good now. Where's
North
that game?
North Carolina State away in Raleigh.
I'm not sure about that one.
I'm gonna go FSU.
Yeah.
With the upset.
When they shouldn't
Hey,
win. When
slow
they
down.
should.
You're going too quick.
Well, come on, man.
Come on. We got to think
You
things
got a
through.
50-50
It's like,
shot.
No.
Come on,
We
man.
got to think these things through. Go ahead.
One more time for the Montgomery guy. Okay. North Carolina State in Raleigh. Do you have Florida State or you got North Carolina State?
I hate to do it, but I'm going to go NC State.
Okay. Week after that, Clemson at Tallahassee.
I'm going Clemson.
That's such a tough one because if Florida State has a good year and they're playing well, that game could be different. But as of right now, Clemson.
Oh. Okay. 2 weeks after that, Miami away in Miami.
First year for Cristobal, great coach. I'm going to go Florida State.
Okay. Ryan?
I'll go FSU as well.
Oh. Miami going down to the Florida State. Okay, and they're going to end
Wait a minute. Is John McVay listening? I might go Miami. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
No, don't be hem-hawing.
Go ahead.
Well, you're covering both of them with these picks.
And then the last game of the season in Tallahassee, the Florida Gators.
That's such a big game.
That's a huge game. Billy Napier's first year. I'm going to go FSU. It's Florida's first. It's hard to beat Florida State when you're first year as a head coach at Florida. As of today, I'd go FSU.
I'll go Florida.
But go. All right.
Who you got, Ryan?
Florida.
Go back. Who did you say for sure wins for you? That was
For me, the sure wins were Duquesne, Boston College, Georgia Tech, Syracuse, Louisiana Lafayette.
Okay.
That's 5 wins. Yeah. I think that realistically they can do.
Yeah. And mine were Louisville, Boston College, Wake Forest, Georgia Tech, Syracuse.
That's if you go along with those other 5.
Yeah. And Louisiana. Yeah.
So you're looking at like 9 wins there.
With a bowl game for sure.
So.
If he goes 9-3 regular season, he's good.
Now here's been his record. In 2020, they only played 9 games. He was 3-6. Last season they were 5-7. So overall at Florida State, Norvell is 8-13.
Better win, baby.
This is the
you
year.
You better win 9. You better win.
Yeah, that's
9.
what I'm thinking. But you look at their schedule; they got a shot at some of these. You know, the ones LSU is going to be a big one because that's early year.
They win that game, the season goes on a completely different trajectory.
Yeah, just think had they beat Notre Dame last year, you know,
right.
how things could have turned out.
And they played great in that game.
Yeah.
So I think LSU is going to be the same thing. I think they'll play really well, but they're not home. Most of the stadium, I think, was going to be LSU.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a tough environment for a young Florida State team to go into the Superdome and come home with a win.
Jim, the Louisville game's on a Friday.
Right, correct.
And is that at Louisville?
No. It's on a Sunday.
Louisville.
Oh, Louisville. Yeah, that's on a Friday.
Yeah. Is that Louisville? Or
yes, that's at Louisville.
Yeah, I still like them in that one. Boston College, Florida State's won 3 straight versus BC.
Is that at home?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I hope it's at home. Is that at home, BC? Wake Forest, they killed FSU in 2021, right?
Yeah, they did.
Wake Forest had a good team last year.
Yeah. Wake Forest scored a ton of points last year. Couldn't
Wake
stop
Forest,
anybody.
But their defense, their defense is not going to be like it was.
No, that would have to be a shootout.
Now Georgia Tech's been awful, so I feel good about that. And Syracuse, what do y'all think about? I don't think much. About
I have them beating Syracuse.
Yeah. The Florida game though, that's kind of. To me, that's kind of up in the air. I do favor FSU in that one because it's been.
That's in Tallahassee.
It's a home game, yeah.
Yeah.
Clemson, I think Clemson's got too much talent.
Right.
Defensively, Clemson's going to be really well. A lot of people are like they've lost their coordinators. Everybody's got the big question mark.
Here's the
Still
thing.
got the players.
And here's the thing with programs like Clemson, Ohio State. You know the top 5, 6 teams every year is they believe that they can win.
Right.
I don't care if they won 10 games. They still won 10 games. They still think they can win. They still think that they can do it. Belief is half the battle, I think.
Right.
You know, Florida State's just kind of hoping things go well. They know it's going to go well. So to me, that's a big difference. So I think they're going to have a hard time beating Clemson.
Jim, we got time. We got to go. Okay. Yes, all you got for today?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, we get back. I want to hit the ACC just a little bit.
No softball or baseball this time.
Well, baseball,
it starts today.
They got a game at 12 p.m. on ESPN2 playing UCLA in that Auburn regional. So.
And then the big one that's later today. I'll let you talk about that in a little while. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Appreciate all of them. Blue Sky at Express Car Wash on Back Beach Road. You want your vehicle to look brand new? Go by and try it. It's incredible. I'm telling you, Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Panama City Beach. Newbies, we appreciate John and Charlotte for the Florida State update. There's 3 great locations. Newbie 2 on the curve has been remodeled. Beautiful inside. It's unbelievable. Go by and try it. Watch all baseball games. Got the Super Region, got the Atlanta Braves, you name it, we've got it right there at Newbies 2. Go try it out. The Mothership, the best bands in the Southeast every Friday and Saturday night. Get out to Newbies and tell them Coach sent you. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better? Jason Kovaleski. And Ryan Mulvey, the best pizza. You know who I saw last night at El Rodeo, Tequila Bar and Grill?
John.
Big John. John was down there. I said, John, why are you not getting pizza right now? He goes, why aren't you?
Better question.
No, I saw him and his beautiful wife. He is raised, he's always had German Shepherds. He knows where he gets this one breeder he uses. I think it's Wisconsin. They're big, beautiful dogs. And he says, Coach, let's get one together. Well, actually, I said that to him. So he might help me get one of those dogs. And he said, if we get one, he will train it. Should I get a German Shepherd or a lab?
Well, it depends on how much time you want to put into it. Because if you get a trained German Shepherd,
nothing better.
But you're going to have to keep them busy for sure.
Yeah.
Labs are a little sweeter and lazier.
Yeah.
So depends on what
Kinda
you're
like
going to
me.
do. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim's more of a lab. I'm more of a German Shepherd, I think. Jim's kind of sweet and lazy. Anyway, we'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Your attention, please. ESPN Northwest Florida reminds you it's the law. It's the law. When there's a double red flag, stay out of the water, stick your toes in the sand, grab a cold drink, and listen to live sports.
Swung on, miss, strike 3.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Double play!
Good Friday morning. Spotty showers and thunderstorms today and tonight. Partly sunny during the day, partly cloudy at night. 88 for the high and about 73 for the low. Southwest wind 10 to 15. Water temperature in the Gulf is 83. Sunny in the 80s for the upcoming weekend. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Hi, this is Coach James Hale. Keeping your car looking great is easy as 1, 2, 3 at Blue Sky Express Car Wash. By joining their monthly wash club, you'll get the best bang for your buck. In just 2 car washes, your monthly membership pays for itself, starting at only $19.99 a month. What are you waiting for? Become a member today at Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Back Beach Road next to Home Depot. Tell them Coach Hale sent you.
I'm Matt Glover with Aero Pest Service, and we are your family-owned and operated pest control company in Bay County since 1977. Now's the time to have us supply our long-lasting custom blend fertilizer that is guaranteed to be the answer your lawn needs in order to stay green and beautiful all summer long. Give us a call today at Aero Pest Service, 850-874-1900. 850-874-1900.
Now, it's the Coach James Hale Show.
Go nuts.
Live from the J. Michael Studio at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We were talking about Florida State a minute ago. Let's get into the ACC. This is ESPN rankings, SPT rankings. This is where they are nationally and in the ACC. Number 1 in the ACC is Clemson. Overall ranking nationally is 6th in the country going into the season. Miami is 2nd in the ACC. They're ranked 14th by ESPN in the preseason power index. NC State, we talked about them. They're supposed to be the 3rd best team in the ACC. They're ranked 18th nationally. Pitt was next. I forgot about Pitt. Pitt's next. They lost the quarterback. They lost that All-American receiver. So we'll see how that plays out. 19th in the nation. And then they've got Florida State 5th in the ACC and 28th in the country, followed by Louisville, which is 30th in the nation, followed by North Carolina and Mac Brown, 34th in the country. Wake Forest is ranked 49th in the country. Then you have Virginia, which is ranked 55th in the nation. Syracuse, which is ranked 57th in the nation. Virginia Tech, I thought they'd be better. They're ranked 61. Boston College, 76. Georgia Tech, 90. And then Duke's got a chance, 119th in the nation.
There you go.
So, Jim, you were talking about FSU. Really, if you go by who they play, they have them. They would lose to Miami and NC State and Clemson. That would be their 3 losses.
Right.
If they beat Florida, you're right, 9-3. You got them going 8-4.
Yeah, I got them 8-4.
Yeah, that sounds about right. What do you think? 8-4, 9-3.
I think it's going to have to be one of those, and they
keep his
they
job.
can't have any more of those slip-up games where they're making huge mistakes and costing them the game. They got to. This is the year they got to put the pedal down and finish those football games that they didn't finish last season.
If he doesn't win 9 games, I'll be shocked if he keeps his job. I mean, you got to win, guys. I mean, you make all the excuses we want to make. You got the name of the games winning football games.
And they got this. He's got the schedule. I mean, that's tough, especially with bookend SEC teams. But he's got the schedule where if he does go 8-4, 9-3, that's a pretty good season. I think kind of solidifies him going forward.
All right, here's the Big Ten, Michigan, Eddie. The Big Ten odds out of Vegas to win the Big Ten championship. Ohio State minus 280. Pretty good bet. They're big time favorite.
That's a huge favorite.
Yeah, number second with plus 650, Michigan. Wisconsin, third, plus 1,000. Penn State, fourth, plus 1,400. Then you got Nebraska. I was surprised Nebraska was this high. Nebraska, plus 1,800. Iowa, plus 2,500. Michigan State, plus 2,500. Purdue, plus 2,800. Minnesota, plus 3,000. Then it goes to Maryland. They're supposed to be pretty good. I mean, seriously, and I'm not kidding. They're talking like they got a chance to be pretty good this year. But still, they're in the Big Ten. They might be better. I don't know. The record's going to be
better. Yeah, you're not going to compete with Ohio State and Michigan.
I don't think. But Maryland's plus 10,000. Indiana plus 15,000. Illinois plus 20,000. Rutgers plus 30,000. And Northwestern plus 50,000. How is that?
I'd lay $10 on Northwestern.
I was going to ask you that.
Fun.
What if I put $1,000, $1,000 on them and they won it? How much would I get?
I think you'd win $500,000.
A lot.
Yeah.
Wow. You all put in 1,000 and see what?
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, I love Pat Fitzgerald, but
that's pretty good.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, you're wasting your money, but still.
You never know.
Let me tell you about Ohio State. Ohio State was plus 229 scoring in 9 of the Big Ten games, okay? Second, I think, was Michigan.
It sounds boring for the kids.
Michigan won the Big Ten, but they were second, and they were plus 135.
That's what happens when you have a conference championship
If
game.
you had a defensive coach with Ohio State, if you had anybody knew what they were doing on that side of the ball,
last year.
They would have been something the year before when they played in the national championship, the same thing.
Look, Ohio State, every once in a while, lets Michigan win, especially when Harbaugh's the coach. So Harbaugh keeps his job at Michigan.
Yeah.
It's a good strategy.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's a long-term strategy.
That's right.
All right, question for both of you. I think we got time to get this one in. Best new head coaches, who will do the best job in 2022? And here's your not all of them, but here's one we're going to pick. Southern Cal, Lincoln Riley. LSU, Brian Kelly. Cristobal at Miami. Napier at Florida. Freeman at North Carolina. Lannings at Oregon. Give me your top 3 in order. Who will do the best?
What's the best mean? What's your definition of the best? Best record? Gotcha.
That's what all they count.
Yeah.
That's the only thing counts.
I think Ryan Day and Lincoln Riley are going to have very similar records. I mean, I think USC, like I told you the other day, if I was a futures betting person, I would bet some money on USC to make the college football playoff. I mean, they are loaded now. It just depends on how well they can play as a team. But I think Ryan Day, Lincoln Riley, who else you got on there? I don't think Brian Kelly's going to be Cristobal, no. Napier. The third one's tough. I'll put Lanning in there.
That's what I got. Southern Cal, Notre Dame, and Oregon having the best years out of the rest of them. I didn't have LSU. I didn't have Miami. Jim, what do you think? Out of those schools, what 3 teams, what 3 coaches are going to do the best in order? Who's number 1, 2, and 3?
I think Lincoln Riley will do really well.
I agree.
I think USC being relevant is also good for college football.
Yeah, it is. After that, I'm going to say I'm gonna say Cristobal at Miami. I think he's gonna do a good job. And then kind of a toss up after that. The guy at Oregon, I'm not real excited about him. Probably Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame. It's still Notre Dame. You know.
Yeah.
It's still Notre Dame.
Okay, that's good. That's good. All three of us had a little different look on it, but that's pretty good. I'm with all you guys. Southern Cal to the top. They're gonna come back quick, and they're in the weaker conference over there. They're on the same page. They're putting in big money into it. And we talked all the time too about Notre Dame, how much money they have. And right now, the overall recruiting class is Notre Dame and Southern Cal, and they've opened up the pocketbooks, and look what's happened. They got the big time money to make it happen.
Well, and when you see these shifts, like what's happened with USC in such a short period of time, all your recruits, too, are seeing that shift, too. And they're like, well, maybe I want to be part of something like that, especially if you're an offensive player, because they're going to be high-powered and they're going to be scoring a lot of points.
I think Notre Dame, for years, the thing was, they had higher academic standards than everyone. They saw themselves as like the elite and being better than everyone. And I think they have to come to the realization that there's programs have passed them up,
Right.
and they're going to have to come off that, and they're going to have to open up the pocketbooks. And I think they'll do it. And I think I'm not a Notre Dame fan per se, but I just know how serious they take it, and I think they're going to be relevant for a long time. I really do.
Let me ask you both something. Jim, you're older. You'll know more about this than Ryan, but
By
SMU.
a couple of years.
SMU, okay? They were the kings of the NIL back in the 80s when they got the death penalty. I mean, they knew how to do it, man.
Yeah,
they got caught, but they knew how to do it. Can they ever come back? SMU's got a lot of money. They don't play in the tough division. They got the money. If they decide to, and listen, what's crazy for where they're at, their little conference they're in, they're recruiting really well right now. So if they make the commitment, the amount of money they have, watch out, because they got to the top doing it back in the 80s, early 80s.
Yeah, that's when it wasn't
so
legal.
am I wrong or right? If SMU decides, hey, we're going to get back and be big-time football again with the amount of money they make out there in Dallas, you think they can do it?
No, because the amount of money that they would have to do is what the amount of money all these other colleges are already spending, and they already have the brand names. So it would take way above and beyond what everybody else is spending, in my opinion. I just think it would be I think it's going to be tough for any team that's not on the elite category, regardless of how much money they have.
I don't know. I think when you got money, you can do just about anything. I mean, look what you've done down Carolina. I mean, you got that program to the top.
That's it.
The amount of money, that was just you. Your booster money.
Simple.
Unbelievable.
Simple.
I got a call. Well, text. Brian said that y'all forgot about Oklahoma. They got a new head coach there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It's Brent Venables is a great defensive coach, but he's never done offense for 2 seconds in his life that we're aware, and that's going to be the thing. But obviously, Oklahoma has to play defense because they haven't been able to play championship level defense in a long time. Probably since the Selmans were there and Brian Bosworth was there.
Who's going to be Oklahoma's quarterback?
Yeah, we'll see.
Because they lost their two good ones. I mean, Spencer.
Well, they should be better on defense. Let's say
but you say that. I'm just going to be the devil's advocate here, but as a walk-on won the national championship at Georgia. So do you?
Oh yeah. But do you
have somebody that's a system guy that's going to make the right decisions? I don't know. Does Oklahoma have one of them? I don't know.
Yeah, great question.
All right, we got a break coming up. We get back. We got Bama. We got Ryan with Auburn. We got some more on college football. Everything that's going on. I did want to hit this. There's a 5-star quarterback for the class of 2024. Last name is Davis. I think it's Jalen Davis. He has set 4 official visits. Who he's thinking he's going to go play for. I think you got 5 to take, but this is top 4 teams right now in the country. He'll be at Clemson June 1st, LSU June 3rd, Alabama June 4th, and Michigan. Why is he wasting a visit to Michigan on June 5th?
I don't know.
Cash money.
Yeah, I'm sure the Buckeyes are getting. I don't know. Maybe
they got Dylan Raiola. They don't need it.
Okay, there you
Number
go.
one.
You heard from Jim Durant right there.
Yeah, he's the number 1 recruit.
Yeah,
for
quarterback in 2024. Dylan Raiola.
Unbelievable.
6'3", 220. He's a 10th grader.
Well, I got to ask you. I got to ask you about him. Not him, but what Ryan Day said. Did you see that?
I don't know what you said.
All right. When you'll find out in a short time, maybe. All right. Let's talk about some of our great people. Get out to J. Michael's Restaurant Day if you want some great seafood and some ice cold beer on Thomas Drive. Legendary. Before you go out to jam at the Gulf Coast Jam.
You might as well eat before you go.
Yeah, go have a good time. Or what's Beth cooking tonight? We can have a lot of people stop by there.
What am I cooking is the question.
There you go. Well, I tell you what Beth is doing. Beth is tearing it out. She's doing a lot of closing. And I tell you who they use, Chuck Tucker, baby. Everybody's using Chuck Tucker. You know why? No surprises. Nobody does a better job than Chuck Tucker. South Oak Title and Closing, Chuck Tucker. Don't forget about American Charlie, brand new restaurant, Edgewater Shopping Center. It's incredible. Go try it. You'll absolutely love it. I do believe that Catfish is a special day. Fried catfish is unbelievable. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Giannis is the best player in the world. That doesn't change with the fact that he had a bad day and lost. I think he wore down from carrying that team practically by himself against that extraordinary defense and all those bodies the Celtics throw at him. But to me, the Middleton factor is undersold, and Giannis is clearly the best player in the world.
Greeny, weekdays 2 to 4, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hi, I'm Tracy, your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Shopping for the perfect diamond can be difficult, but that's why I've trained my staff to be helpful and to offer you a stress-free diamond experience. Pick your sparkle and use our easy layaway plan. Every woman deserves an exquisite diamond from your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We don't work on commissions.
We work for smiles and I-dos.
So if you're tired of high-pressure salespeople, stop by and see us today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Have you been to Gin Gin Super King Buffet? It's not your average Gin Gin. Well, here's what you're missing. Gin Gin Super King Buffet has competitive pricing, a great selection, extensive buffet options perfect for family dining. Menu options also include top quality seafood, hibachi and sushi bar, or select their mouth-watering crab legs by order. Bring the family out to Gin Gin Super King Buffet, located next to Wonderworks at 9802 Front Beach Road on Panama City Beach.
This is where history is made. WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, powered by Pepsi. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Sykes Concrete has been in business in this area since 1947, and 3 generations later, they're still going strong. See Sykes Concrete for dirt, sand, rock, and concrete. They can handle any size job from the smallest to the largest. Sykes Concrete pays CDL truck drivers some of the highest wages in Bay County, making $50,000 to $75,000 a year, including holiday and vacation pay, plus health insurance. See Hugh Sykes at Sykes Concrete, 8030 Highway 77, on the right, just north of Southport Elementary School.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll Tide. Alabama Updates brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. If you have any type of issues, heating or cooling, there's only one place to go, and that's Stevenson Air Conditioning. Ask any of us. Ask Dr. Chad Mitchell. That's who he's going to go with. Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1. We got a great caller right now. I think he's a Oklahoma Sooner. Let's get, who is it, Bill? William?
Hey, Stuart Corbin. How are you doing?
Good. Who is this?
Stuart.
Stuart. How you doing, Stuart?
I'm good, sir.
I'm doing great this morning. I'm glad you're doing well. What do you got for us today?
Well, you were talking about Oklahoma a little bit ago, and old Brent Venables hired Jeff Levy. Jeff is Art Briles' son-in-law, and was offensive coordinator down at UCF with Josh Heupel when they had Dylan Gabriel quarterback. And so we've got through the transfer portal Dylan Gabriel. So we're off and running. We're ready.
Wow. Okay. Let me ask you this. I saw one of the polls, one magazine had Texas favored to win the Big 12. As a matter of fact, I'll pull up here in just a second. What did you think about that? I mean, Texas was terrible last year. Do you think they make a big jump in year 2? And what do you think, Oklahoma? You lose Lincoln Riley, got the new coach coming in. How do you feel like you guys are going to do?
Well, let's talk about Texas first. Texas has been the national champion of the month of February for about the last 15 years.
True.
And so not much has changed. Now, I'll tell you, we've probably got more concern with Sarkisian than we have any of their other choices since Mac Brown left.
Yeah.
But bless his heart, after that debacle last year in Dallas, they just fell apart.
Right. Right.
So not too awful concerned until we see what they've got, and we'll find out about that early if I remember right from their schedule.
Well,
don't they have Alabama or somebody?
They
early?
got Alabama week 2 at 11 o'clock kickoff, Fox TV. Out there, you got to remember now they did get some good recruits coming in there, and the transfers.
Well,
Bama's linebacker's pretty good. The receiver's got all the ability in the world, but he's a head case.
The issue has never been talent at the University of Texas. Never been talent. They've always had way more talent than most of the teams that they played, but for whatever reason, just can't put it together and win games.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is. So back to what, well, let me tell you, you've got all these alumni groups, whether it's the engineers or the tech guys or the oilies or whoever it is at Texas, there's a lot of money, which brings a lot of power, and they've all got a voice.
Yeah.
And this creates a conundrum for them.
Just like Auburn.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some other places like that.
Yeah. Too many captains, yeah.
Yes, way too many, and they all are wanting the coach's ear, and it takes time away from prepping his team.
Right. Mac handled it pretty well for a long time. He did pretty good.
He the best of anybody since Darryl Royal because Mac was about 60% politician. He was a good fundraiser, good recruiter, good with parents. He was good with those administrators. What derailed Mac was this whole having their own Longhorn Channel network.
Right.
That was the biggest mess for them I've ever seen. I loved it, of course, but that was a mess.
All right, let's get into Oklahoma. What do you hear and what do you think?
We have probably more contagious excitement over Brent Venables and what he's been able to do culture-wise since he's been there. We had over 75,000 people at our spring game.
Wow.
This year, and that hadn't happened in a long, long time.
Yeah.
So that tells me that people are excited about him and behind him and are going to help him get the facilities that he needs, help him, with NIL stuff, whatever it is that he needs. We feel like as a fan base that, we're with him. He's on the right track. He's a really good guy. And so we want to try to help him succeed.
All
right. So the enthusiasm's there, the excitement's there. We just don't know about talent. He's brought in some new guys. He's only been there a short time, so the proof will be in the pudding pretty quickly. We go to Nebraska. I can't remember the 17th or 18th of September. They will be a much improved team, I feel like. So we'll get a little bit of a test there, and of course our next big one will be when we meet Texas and Dallas.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: who's going to be the quarterback?
That Dylan Gabriel that came from UCF. Remember, he hurt his collarbone, was out last year, little lefty from Hawaii. And we feel like watching him in spring and watching his old highlights, he's very similar to us as Josh Heupel was in 2000, a little lefty that's head coach at Tennessee now.
Yeah.
And so he's pretty level-headed. Looks like he makes pretty good decisions. His stats were pretty good, but he's got the same offensive coordinator that he had at UCF with Jeff Levy that we've hired, and we feel pretty good about him. He's a good young up-and-coming guy. He's the guy that was with Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss last year.
Right. He's good. I know about him.
Yeah.
I want to ask you this before we get you off today. Going into the SEC, they're talking about the scheduling: 1-7, 3-6, 8 conference game, 9 conference games. Saban's always been for 9, but he said we got to be careful because you bring in Texas, Oklahoma, the competition in the SEC is going to be unbelievable. And we want to keep the teams in the national playoffs because we got the best conference in college football. And other conferences are not as strong as we are. So you could get a team that's undefeated that yet it's not better than a team that's maybe lost 2 close games in the SEC because it's going to be hard to go undefeated in the SEC. But my question to you is, as a fan, and you kind of think it through before you answer, do you want to see Oklahoma playing 8 conference games or 9? I'll be honest with you. I'd like to keep it at 8 right now till we see what the playoff is going to go to. If it goes to the 8 best teams are the 12 best teams. And I'm like, let's play 9 SEC games instead of 8. But right now, the way everybody has a hate on towards the SEC, Southern Cal's going to be back in the picture pretty soon. Their path to get in is going to be a lot easier than going through the SEC. What do you think for Oklahoma? What do you want to see for the Sooners? Do you want them to play 8 or 9 SEC games a year?
Let me say it this way. The Oklahoma bunch is a God-fearing, humble, modest fan base. We take all comers. So whether it's 8 or whether it's 9, just line them up. It'll take us about 3 or 4 years to get our talent level where it needs to be, but then we'll take all comers.
All right. That sounds good. I want to ask you one other thing. I don't know if you saw it, the Texas A&M. What is the hate? I mean, I know it's been there for a long time, but their athletic director came out and said that Texas will play their first game at Kyle Field. The last time they played Texas A&M, it was Kyle Field, and Texas beat them in a close ball game in, I think, 2011. So why do they hate each other so much? Is it still that Texas?
That's like explaining why Auburn and Alabama don't care for one another.
But I think it's worse.
Well, it may be. There is it's a long-standing rivalry, and they're looking across the backyard at each other. And again, lots of money, folks, lots of power. Everybody wants to be the big dog in Texas, and so that'll be fun to put that back together.
Well, listen, don't hang up. Stay on the phone with John. We're going to give you. Can we give him 2 things? He's never called before, just 1. What can I do?
Let's stay out of trouble and give him 1.
Let's give him 1 today. Okay. He won't let me do what I want, so I'll just give you 1 today. Would you you like pizza or do you like other type food?
Everything.
All right.
Anything.
I'll tell you what. Let's give him American Charlie. Where do you live? Where do you live at?
Over in, just on the edge of Southport, coming into Lynn Haven.
Coming to Lynn Haven. Ooh. Yeah, give him American Charlie. He'll like that. Well, all of them are good. We got pizza, we got that, we got barbecue. But we'll give you, I tell you what, we'll give you American Charlie. Go try it. It's $25. It's in Edgewater Shopping Center. Dave owns it. Him and Mike have partners in that. Well, Firefly is his main restaurant, which the food's incredible there. So you know American Charlie's going to be really good. So go there and have a good meal. Hey, don't hang up. He's going to tell you what you need to do. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you calling so much.
Yes, sir. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend. All right, Alabama. Do you hang up? No, good. Okay. Alabama update. How much time we got? All right, here's the thing now. Everybody's always like, if they go to 7-1, we have one team you have to play. There's one thing everybody's forgetting. The rival game, everybody is Auburn. But Tennessee and Alabama is a huge game. That was Alabama's biggest rivalry for years. They've played 104 times. Every year since 1944, Alabama and Tennessee have played. If you remember, Alabama-Auburn didn't play for a long period of time because they couldn't get along. They couldn't agree with anything. The state made them start playing each other. So this 1-7, some Bama fans like, we don't want the 1-7 because we want Tennessee every single year, and we want Auburn. So I don't know what Bama's going to vote for. I don't know if they're going to 1-7. I don't know they want 3-6. But that's some of the things you got to look at when you're going like, let's just do the 1-7 deal and have 8 conference games. If Alabama has to make a choice, is it going to be Auburn? Is it going to be Tennessee? I think it's going to be Auburn.
I think it has to be Auburn, regardless of how many games they've played in the past. I mean, the Iron Bowl is up there with the top couple.
Tennessee's number 1 rival is Alabama.
Yep.
Alabama's number 1 rival, again, at one time, it was Tennessee. Now I'm with you. To me, it's got to be Auburn. But that'd be so strange. Every 4 years, Alabama playing and Bryant-Denny against Tennessee when you used to seeing it every other year. So that'd be something to keep in mind. All right, we get back. I say this for – I said this for Monday. We get back. We got Ryan Movey talking about the Auburn Tigers. Everything's going on down there. Let's talk about some of our great people. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. Saw John yesterday. If you love pizza, there's only one place to go. That is Paparazzi Gourmet Deli on Thomas Drive. 3 restaurants in one is incredible. Try the Paradise Cake. Oh, my goodness. It's unbelievable. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. You want to look better, feel better. Jason Kovaleski. Dr. Ward. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, please don't put it off. It could be deadly. Go see Dr. Ward. You listen right now in Northwest Florida. There's an office near you. Newbies, 3 great locations. Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Back Beach Road. None better. That place is incredible. We'll be right back. Jim Brandt, Ron Movey, Auburn Tigers, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
Jeremy, what's going on, buddy?
Give my 2 cents about the Jimbo and Nick Saban situation. I went down to College Station. What I'm going to do is I'm going to poison that mascot Rebels food. And he ain't going to die soon, but he's going to die. That's all I got to say about that.
So we got a new Harvey Updike.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Weather forecast for this afternoon, spotty showers and thunderstorms, a blend of sun and clouds, 85 to 90, southwest wind at 10, water temperature in the Gulf is 83. Showers and thunderstorms overnight, partly cloudy skies on the low 70s, mostly sunny this weekend, highs in the mid to upper 80s. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Hear that? That's the plumpest, juiciest hot dogs you've ever seen getting their grill on. But we both know what'll make it sound even better. Oh yeah, it's a Pepsi to go with your hot dog. Because when you're chomping on America's favorite meal, relish, mustard, and onions perfectly blending into a crescendo of flavor, there's only one thing that makes everything about that moment better. A cold, refreshing Pepsi. See what I mean? It's like music to my ears. Hot dogs. Better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Tiger fans, join us weekday mornings at 8:15. It's the Bay Point Golf Auburn Update on the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
War Eagle! Hey! Martha, Kenny, James Grommer, all these great Auburn fans. We got a lot of War Eagle, Auburn Tigers throughout Northwest Florida, and appreciate every single one of them. And Ryan, a lot of them love to play golf. Where's the number one place they're going to play golf at?
Not just golf, but come hang out, listen to live music, eat good food, all that stuff. We've got a lot going on at Bay Point right now. Like I mentioned earlier in the show, we've got live music coming up tonight featuring Mark Knaps. And then next Friday, we've got, I think it's Parker Smith coming out to jam with us for a little while. That's the same kid that came out when you came out.
He was good.
The one time I've seen you out there. Well, we had to be inside because of the rain. And then we had barbecue night last night. We got a Low Country Boil next Thursday, live music that Friday. We're getting our trivia back going. The last time we did trivia was in January. I can't keep kicking it down the road. The people want the trivia, so we're going to bring back the trivia on the 17th. That's Friday night. And then we've got a lot of other stuff going on. Don't forget, too, our sign-up deadline for the Bay Point Junior League is coming up this Monday, June 6th.
All right, stop right there. What time during the day will that be going on?
Afternoon. Yeah, we've talked about this before. But we have there's lots of things going on for juniors. The Bay Point Junior League is our instructional/competition league. It's like a rec league for golf. That's coming up. It features 14 hours of practice for the kids, plus they get to play in 5 matches against other kids, which is cool. But we also have multiple summer camps going on. Jay Henley, our teaching pro, is actually finishing up a summer camp right now. Today's his last day. They're out there on the practice facility probably as we speak. But he's got another one coming up, I think the second week in July. All this information can be found on our website, baypointgolfclub.com. You click the golf tab, you go to junior golf.
Second week in July.
It's all
what
there.
Time will that be?
That's in the mornings. That is in the mornings. I think right now he's I want to say he's either 8:30 to 11 or 9 to 11. I'll look it up here in a second and I'll let you know.
Okay.
But
and there is another one in the afternoon also?
The Bay Point Junior League is separate from the summer camps as well. And then we also have ladies clinics and camps going on. Courtney Webb, our assistant golf professional, is doing one. Jay's doing one. We've got tons of instructional opportunities going on. Again, if you go to baypointgolfclub.com and you click on the golf tab and then click on instruction or junior golf.
Yeah, even break. We need to talk about that. I see what's best for Leighton to get her involved.
I would probably do one of those summer camps. just because it's the Bay Point Junior League is awesome for instruction, but it's also competitive golf too. But that's over the span of I think 6 or 7 weeks, where the summer junior camp is just 4 days.
Okay.
So, but a lot of instruction. It's 2.5 hours each day, and Jay does a fantastic. All our instructors out there are fantastic, and it's just really good to see a lot of that junior golf going on out there, because without junior golf, that's future golfers that are coming out to play our golf course. So we got to make sure we're taking care of the youth. I mean, it's just like any sport. Football, baseball, soccer, whatever it may be, tennis, you've got to have kids getting involved. Otherwise, you're not going to have people playing. The beautiful thing about golf, we talk about all the time, it's a lifelong sport. You can do, all the way through your entire life. And, as we talk.
What drives me, what I love about it, if you're a female and you start golf really early and get fairly good at it, there's a lot of scholarships available for female golfers.
Tons. Division I scholarships available.
Yeah.
There's tons that go unused. I mean, we have the Barry Masters Memorial Foundation, which is run by our MGA, does scholarships for men and women in Bay County. They started that last fall, awarded the first one to a young man named Cooper Foist. He goes to Florida Gulf Coast University. He played golf in high school. He doesn't play golf in college. That's not the requirement. Is you just have to play golf, be on your golf team as a senior, and you're eligible for this scholarship. It's not huge amounts of money, but I want to say it's $2,000 per year for your 4 years at college, which may be increasing as we continue to go along. But there was no lady golfer to award it to last year. There was because there was no seniors, but lady golf in our area, if you have a girl that may be interested in golf, get her involved, get her some lessons, because the golf teams around here too are also struggling to get lady golfers.
Yeah.
The boys golf is getting there. I think in another 4 or 5 years, when all these kids that are playing and practicing right now are playing in high school golf, it's going to be awesome. So we're building the future pipeline for future golf in high school. But yeah, like you said, there's so much athletic scholarship opportunities for girls in golf that obviously you use for your education and all that. So really good to see all that going on at the club. Proud of the team for what they're doing to because last summer we were really busy. We didn't have a teaching instructor yet, and Gavin and Courtney were doing as much as they can. But this year we are really rocking and rolling with a lot of junior golf programs, in addition to adult instruction as well. We have ladies camps, we have adult camps, we got private instruction, all that stuff. So a lot going on from the junior golf world, in addition to all the fun social stuff we got going on. Of course, the golf course is open as well. But kicking it over to Auburn, obviously we talked a little bit about baseball earlier today. They are hosting, I'm sure you guys have been talking about it all week, hosting a NCAA regional, which is pretty cool. I don't think they've done it in about 12 years or so. So that all gets kick-started this today with the first game in the regional, like we said earlier, Florida State playing UCLA at 12 p.m. on ESPN2. And then Auburn tonight hosts is playing Southeastern Louisiana at 7 p.m. That'll be on ESPN+. So Auburn 37-19 had a little bit of a slowdown at the very end of the season. The last series they didn't do that great, and then obviously, like you mentioned, they lost that game to Kentucky in the SEC tournament, one and done. So hopefully they can bounce back from that and really start hitting the baseball again, and maybe come out of this regional, which is going to be tough. With FSU and UCLA in there, going to be tough to come out. They got to win this game tonight to be 1-0, and then see who wins the FSU UCLA game. So we got that. That's all going on, so hopefully they can make a run to a super regional. That would be really cool. Not a whole lot going on in football. I know you were talking about the Brian Harsin podcast that's coming up, which I think is a fantastic idea, to really introduce people into what they're all about, what the coaching staff's all about, which may be part of, what of his strategy after everything that happened in the offseason to try to build some of that rapport, build some of that confidence going into the fall. They're going after a wide receiver in the transfer portal, Coy Moore, who played 2 years at LSU. He was the kid that entered the transfer portal in 2021 in October, which was kind of weird last year, but he's planning to visit Auburn this upcoming weekend. Obviously, we all know Auburn, was a little thin at the wide receiver position, so getting a guy that's got some experience, he was a 4-star recruit coming out of high school, may be huge to add some depth to their wide receiver room. So that obviously going to be important as they're going into the fall season, which, nobody's real high on Auburn, which sometimes.
Did you hear Andy Burcham when we talked to him? I don't know if you heard that particular day or not, but he thought that was the number one area that he felt Auburn needed was some more receivers.
Yeah.
which kind of surprised me. I thought it was going to be defensive line, but he said, no, we need to get some big-time receivers in there. This kid here would help out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have a defensive line for sure, too, but we got to score some points.
Yeah.
That's what the SEC is all about now. It's all
Well,
about scoring points.
Auburn's got talent. It's just they don't have the depth that some of the,
No.
like the Georgias and Alabama has right now up front, and that's the big difference, I think.
Well, and I think about it all the time. I mean, how is Auburn going to ever be able to compete on the highest level like they've done a little bit in years prior without the big time dollars now going to get these recruits it's just going to be such a struggle. I mean, Auburn's a great historic program, but they've kind of fallen into that second tier level in the SEC, and it's just going to be such a challenge.
And they do it to themselves because there's money.
Oh yeah, they're just not all working towards the same goal.
Man, I think he is the wealthiest man in the state of Alabama, or one of them. And we're talking about Yellowwood. If they all get on the same page and decide, hey, we're going to X amount of dollars every year, name like an image, they can make it happen. Ryan Day, the head football coach at Ohio State, we're getting this a little bit. He's already met with his guys. He told them the figure that they need every year at Ohio State to make it happen, what they need to make happen. Saban, and he didn't throw anybody on the bus. Now, Nick was more or less said the same thing, but he kind of threw Jimbo and Jacksonville State, Miami under the bus a little bit. But Ron Day was a lot more politician, I guess, talking to his boosters.
Yep.
So they got the people at Auburn that love it, that have the money to make it happen. They just got to get on the same page.
They just got to work towards the same goal. And
do you think the AD is going to be? I ask everybody this. I don't know, man.
It's going to be. I think a lot is going to rely on what happens this fall.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, and it's like you said. Is it the AD? Is it the coach? Or is it the boosters? I mean, they've got this. Everything's changed so drastically, and I think Auburn's a little bit behind the 8 ball when it comes to all this stuff, and they're getting out-moneyed by everybody else, and which has probably always been the case. But
no, not really.
But
as Pat Dye, they did pretty good in Pat Dye was
yeah.
They got it's not they've got the money. They got to get. They're not on the same page.
Yeah.
It's like when Alabama went all those years not doing very well. They were all split there, and they were not together. And when they all came together because they didn't think anybody's going to take the job, and they finally got Saban, everything went the right way. I was going to ask you something. What if Florida State, and you look at Auburn, if Auburn's head coach had the same record that Florida State's head coach the last 3 years, he'd be fired.
Yeah.
You know, SEC is brutal.
It definitely. I mean, and there's a lot of parallels between Auburn and FSU, how they live in their conference. Expectations are huge, but they've just not gotten it done over the last several years. I mean, and Auburn hasn't dipped down quite as far, I don't think, but much more expectations are a lot higher in the SEC, no doubt. Yeah. This is another. I mean, this is what Harson's second year. Yeah, and he's already been through hell and back. So I mean, maybe if he can persevere through all this and have a.
But hey, we're talking about Auburn. Every time we think they're out,
that's the year they do good.
Yeah.
Yep. But anyway. They just don't have the talent, the depth that everybody else does. So.
All right, Auburn Update's been brought to you by Bay Point Golf. We get back. Let's jump into the NIL deal. Let's talk about what Brian Day had to say. They were actually figures thrown out there for positions, how much it costs to get this, and that. It was kind of interesting, and I like the fact he was up above board about and just talked about briefly what they needed for the Buckeyes to keep winning championships. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Dr. Chad Mitchell. 22 years on Bay County sidelines. If you have any type of injury, please go see Chad. Make a call to Southern Orthopedics. Make an appointment. Go by and see him. Also, Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road. I tell you what, Ethan Boyd is one of the finest men I've ever met. He does an incredible job. You've dealt with him a lot. If you want something catered, give him a call. Ask for him. Let him run it for you. They do a great job at Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road. The barbecue's incredible. I'm telling you, it's the best turkey you'll get anywhere. Also, don't forget about the newest and best Mexican restaurant on Panama City Beach, El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. We'll be right back with Jim Brandt in his Buckeyes, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Here's Jimmy Butler on taking the three.
Our process was go for the win, which I did.
I thought that he's in transition. Al Horford is backing off of him. Jimmy Butler can blow right by Al Horford. Look, we could be saying something different. If he made that shot, they advanced. I still didn't like the shot.
It's the Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 9 till 11, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hi, folks. It's Tracy with Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Did you know that we have a master jeweler right here in the store? That's right. He has over 30 years experience in the art of repairing jewelry. Most repairs are done within 2 business days. So don't send your jewelry off for 6 weeks. Bring it to us at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We size rings and solder chains. We can reset your diamond into new settings and even custom design. You'll get your jewelry back quickly and looking as good as new. Tracy's Fine Jewelry, Bay County's trusted jeweler for over 45 years.
The brand new Burger King in Weewa Hitchka is looking for managers and team members. You'll get to use your smile and personality and get paid for it. You'll be responsible for getting guests excited about their experience every day at Burger King. You'll get to work in a safe, productive environment that allows employees to thrive and advance with career opportunities. Burger King promotes from within. They offer training and development, flexible schedules, employee meal discounts, and scholarship opportunities. Burger King is an equal opportunity employer. Interested job seekers should text 007-8075 to 31063 to apply. Must be at least 16 years of age.
I'm Matt Glover with Aero Pest Service, and we are your family-owned and operated pest control company in Bay County since 1977. Did you know termites do more damage every year than fires, floods, and storms combined? And all they need is a width of a sheet of paper to get in your home. But I can tell you that it's completely preventable. You can protect the most valuable investment you have by calling us today. Give us a call today at Aero Pest Service, 850-874-1900.
I'd like to introduce.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
Milk was a bad choice.
If I could just have your attention.
60% of the time, it works every time.
If anyone wants to switch jobs, let me know.
Live from the J. Michael Studio.
I have many leather-bound books.
At 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Jim Brant's with us this morning. Ryan Mobley, Bay Point Golf. Jim, I'll start with you. Buckeye Nation, no problem for them. He needs an extra $13 million a year. Saban spoke to his boosters up in Birmingham, the richest people in the state. They're Alabama alumni fans. And we more or less said we got to match what's going on with the Southern Cows, especially Texas A&M, Texas, coming into the SEC. We want to continue to compete. This is what we're going to have to do. Ryan Day just came out and said, guys, look, I'm going to need about $13 million every year to deal with the NIL. The going rate for a top-notch quarterback, in his opinions, around $2 million. To get a great edge rusher, which you got to put pressure on the quarterback to have a chance in college football anymore, they're going to go for about $1 million. You can't just get one a year. I mean, you got to get a couple. And he said for a big-time offensive tackle, he's talking about the elite of the elite, about $1 million for an offensive tackle. This is what college football has become. You and I, we didn't get paid to go. I don't know if you got money. I didn't get paid to go anywhere. Matter of fact, they tried to get the money back from me after I left. Right. I never did anything for them. I was that bad of a player. But is it truly now just, the rich get richer? Is it pay to play? What's your thoughts on all this? And you're a Buckeye guy. You're a big, you guys are the ones that got the quarterback out of Texas to come out there and paid him $1 million, never set a foot in that stadium. He gets $1 million. He doesn't even stay a whole year. I don't think he stayed the whole year.
No, he didn't.
Transfers out back to Texas. So I blame Ohio State for a lot of problems in college football. But go get, for real, though, what do you think really about the $13 million deal?
I think it's insanity. I don't think it's sustainable. There's going to have to be somebody, some organization has to put some common sense into this. You just can't keep doing this. I mean, well, Alabama spent $2 million, so we got to spend $2.5 million. Well, Auburn did $3 million, so we got to do $4 million. You can't just do that forever. I mean, there's got to come a point where enough's enough. But I've said this before. I'm going to say it again, and I really believe. I really think that within 5 years you're going to have some super conference with 30, 40 teams, whatever, and they're going to say, "The heck with everybody else. You're on your own." That's really put them in the Mutiny on the Bounty. Put them in the boat and set them adrift because it don't matter. I think Ohio State will be part of that. I think Alabama will be part of that. Notre Dame, all the usual players. But what they can do and what other teams can do are like night and day. I'll give you an example. When I went back to Akron in '95 and '96 as a graduate assistant, our head coach was a former assistant at Ohio State. And this is '95 and '96. And he told me what they used to bring in at a game. It was this is again almost 30 years ago. It was in like $5-6 million every game. It's like how can
and that's not count TV. That's just gate.
Yeah, that was just receipts and tickets, or gate receipts and such. I mean, how can a Mid-American team? How can UCF? How can Southern Miss? How can SMU? How can they? They can't do that. They can't.
But they vote on the same thing as Ohio State.
Yeah,
does.
it's apples and oranges. So I think at some point, those super teams are going to get off by themselves. And
were you surprised at the number 13 million annually? Towards just NIL.
Yeah, I didn't read the story, but I saw that amount. It's like it's a high, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, Ron,
it'll probably go up higher than that.
Ron, what did you think when you saw this?
I mean, it reminds you a lot of the NFL. I mean, they keep making higher contracts. People getting paid more. Like there has to be a ceiling somewhere.
At what point is enough enough?
Yeah, and college football, something's eventually going to have to break because people are either going to run out of money or what's your actual – are people just doing this, the boosters doing it, and these places doing it because they care that much about the football program, or do they really care about an investment and a return on that investment? Because an NIL deal – when it first came out, people were allowed to use their name, like, and image to make money. Not being paid to play, but use their brand to make money. Well, when somebody uses your brand to make money, usually that's a marketing investment. You're getting some kind of return because of it. I haven't seen one commercial or anything along those lines that resembles any type of branding and marketing for these athletes. It went so quickly from athletes being able to use their name, image, and likeness to make money to we're going to have businesses pay for players to play at the university. Right. So do people have endless amounts of money to keep doing this? Do people care this much about their college football program, or when does that end? So
see, I'm like you. Sooner or later,
something's got to break.
Yeah, you love them, and you want Alabama to win, so you're going to give all this money. But at a certain point in time, you're going to have to get some kind of return because you can't keep just doing it.
Well, we haven't even got to the football season yet. Like, what happens after this season coming up for all these players that you've paid this money for? Is it just for that year? Is it for their time at the college? What if the transfer portal goes crazy after this season and all these people start going other places? Right. Like, we haven't even really done one football. I mean, last year NIL was in play, but this seems to be like the big tipping point of NIL is this season coming up. What happens at the end of the season? Yeah. What's it going to look like? What is all this money going to do? Is there more money coming? So something's going to have to give eventually because, like Jim said, you can't just keep adding more and more and more and more. Eventually, something's going to break.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And really and truly, if you're a fan and you're paying $65, $75 for one ticket to one game, and you got a family of four like you do, and let's say you get the ticket, let's just say for $80, that's $320 for one game.
Just to go to the game. You haven't paid for travel. You haven't paid for food. You haven't paid for parking. You haven't done any of that stuff.
That's just one game. But here's the deal. In Alabama, in most schools, you got to pay money just to get in line to be able to buy the tickets.
Yeah.
I can see this. Everything's changed. And look, we can't afford to pay gas now. So it could blow up in their face.
Well, and it's so easy now with the way you can watch TV, with ESPN Plus, streaming, Amazon. They're making the game so much easier to watch from the comfort of your own home. So people are making that decision, whereas, 20 years ago, a lot of times you'd have to go to the game 20 years ago. I meant obviously more than that too, but you'd have to actually go to the game to see your team.
Yeah, when we grew up, you only were on TV 3 times a year.
Yeah, maybe.
That's the big, Ohio State, Alabama, 3 times a year. Some schools never on TV.
And what happens too, the generation that y'all are talking about that, you had to go to the games, they've been tailgating, they've had tickets for years and years and years and years and years. What happens when the kids below them, they're like, I don't want to do it anymore. I can't afford it. And you
I
start
like soccer better.
You start losing the generational
That's happened.
stuff, and I think that's why. So that it's just
when the head coaches like Kirby Smart, Nick Saban, the guys just both of them play for the national championship, get that saying, "This is not good. I don't know how we can keep this going." You need to listen to them. But what's the answer? Because if you take it to court, it's legal. Like you said, Jim, it's legal. I mean, you can earn in this country, you can earn what you want.
Goes back to the old expression. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. I mean,
crazy. It's absolutely.
There's
going to be
an
interesting to
end
see
point
what
at some
stadiums
point.
look like this fall with how much everything
I'm
costs,
the same thing.
travel, hotel,
I don't
food.
think you're going to see a lot
just
of
gas alone.
I don't think you'll see packed out stadiums.
If you're in FSU, you drive over to Tallahassee. I mean, we got so many people from Panama City Beach that make that trek over every Saturday. I mean, that's going to be a really expensive trek and weekend just to go watch the
that's
football
one of the
team.
reasons I had LSU over FSU, because I think when you look at what it costs to stay at a hotel, what his tickets are costing, the gas to get over, the food, and I know it's the first game of the year. There will be a lot of FSU fans there, but I do think it's going to be a lot more LSU Tigers there.
For sure.
Yeah, I do.
For sure.
I don't know what's going to happen in future college football. It's crazy. And in the old days, it says it'll never die out. Well, I remember back in the old days going to high school football games, and they were packed out every game.
Right.
You don't see that hardly ever anymore. So it can happen. If it's happened before, it'll happen again.
And that goes back to having stuff to do. Back then, I mean, going to you didn't think of doing anything else other than going to your high school football game on Friday night.
Right.
Now, with the world we live in and technology
we're
and everything,
every second of the day with the thing you hold in your hand, your phone. You can be entertained. Go to a restaurant and watch people and see if they talk to one another.
No, they don't.
And it's every generation too. It's not just kids and not just teenagers.
I don't even know who my wife is anymore. She's on the phone 24/7.
She's looking at pictures of you on Facebook.
I try to get them off there as fast as I can.
They just keep getting put back on.
But Jim, in the old days, if you got $13 million given to a school, man, you got it made, bro. Look at the things you could get, the things you could buy. It'd be unbelievable. That's just to pay players to come. You still need the big donations to still keep the monster running, keep feeding the beast.
I've said it before. I've said it already today. There's going to have to be some group or some person in charge of this. You can't just let it just go unchecked. You just can't. It'll be, well, it already is. In my opinion, it already is chaos, and it's going to get nothing but worse.
I got tickled though, really and truly. When I was talking about it earlier, the Texas A&M's athletic director, they did an article with him. He goes, "Hey, yeah, we're going to be playing Texas, and the first time that game's going to be played, Texas will become to Kyle Field. The last time that happened was 2011. Texas won that game 27-25, but he made it clear. And he also goes, they don't have a say-so in it. They're not voting members right now. So he's true. There's a lot of stuff being going on with the scheduling in the future and everything else that they're going to know. Technically, they can't really vote on this stuff right now, like he's pointing out. Don't tell me that they're not keeping Texas A&M Texas and Oklahoma informed what's going on. They're going to know what's going on. But I think he's right. I think the first game ever to be played when they start at bat is going to be at Kyle Field. If it's 1-7 or 3-6, whatever it is, but he did point out that they can't vote on it right now as an active member. That was kind of like a childish a little bit.
Yeah, it is.
But that just shows
nanny boo boo.
Yeah. Sam Pittman, Arkansas head coach. Y'all see this?
$5 million.
5-year deal, $5 million annually, right?
I think that was smart by Arkansas because if they have another good year, he's going to be very popular.
5 years, $25 million. Pretty good paycheck.
Yeah, it is.
Kirby's getting ready to get wait till you see this one. They're working on it now. It's going to be a long-term, big-time. It's going to be like what you saw, the 10-year deal at LSU, Jimbo Fisher's contract. I think it's going to be up there close to Saban. If it's not, I'll be shocked. And hadn't said much about it. He finally made a comment how supportive they've been, not just to him and his coaches, but the entire athletic department, especially football. Everything he's needed to get built, they built it. So the president came out and said we need to keep Kirby here for a long, long time. So look for Kirby to have one of these huge deals coming up. I'd say probably within a month it'll be out exactly what he's going to get and the buyout and everything else. But isn't it crazy the amount of money they're making now?
Yeah, it is.
One big contract, you're set for life. Win or lose, you're set for life. It's crazy.
That's why I don't think a lot of those coaching records, career victories, will ever get broken because there's no financial reason to stick around that long. I mean, you're set. Woody Hayes coached for almost 30 years because he had to.
Wasn't he 25 years at Ohio State?
Yeah, 25 years as the head coach of Ohio State because he was probably making $50,000-$60,000 a year.
But he didn't care about money.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Now you get
He
one of
lives in
those
the same
Jimbo
house.
Fisher contracts for $100 million.
Did you read that book about him? I mean,
why do you need to go work?
He lived in the same house.
Right. He drove a pickup truck.
Yeah, and he didn't act like some big.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a different breed of man back then.
Yep.
One other thing,
for
Jimbo
sure.
Fisher said that the Aggie fans are deserving of a national championship, the best fans in the world. I read it, I started thinking, well, South Carolina's got some great fans too, and they hadn't won a championship.
Everybody's got the best fans in the world. Just ask them.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Ron Moby, Bay Point Golf. We love those people. They do an incredible job down there. If you love golf, you want to make money, the golf tournament. Ron, y'all are really far out on these golf tournaments, correct?
Yeah, we're booking late spring, fall of next year.
Wow.
Yep.
That's crazy. So if you're even thinking about it, you better talk to him soon. All right, don't forget about J. Michael's Restaurant, Stevenson Air Conditioning, Buffalo Rock, the wonderful people there, and, of course, our newest sponsor, love them, American Charlie, Edgewater Shopping Center. Go try it. First responders, you get a discount every single day. Go try it. You'll love it. I guarantee that. I'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is your captain speaking. Thank you for flying with ESPN Northwest Florida. Please return to your seats, buckle up, and prepare for launch.
He struck him out. Max Fried leaves the bases loaded.
The defending world champion Atlanta Braves are sponsored by PCB Coins and Cards, Guthrie's Fit Culture, Panama City Toyota, Brock's Pest Control, and ESPN Northwest Florida. And we apologize for any turbulence you've experienced this season with the Atlanta Braves.
Good Friday morning. Spotty showers at thunderstorms today and tonight. Partly sunny during the day, partly cloudy at night. 88 for the high and about 73 for the low. Southwest wind 10 to 15. Water temperature in the Gulf is 83. Sunny in the 80s for the upcoming weekend. This weather forecast has been brought to you by KHS and Associates, your source for affordable health insurance. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey, cheesy, crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously. But as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
He's a 10-foot-tall, barrel-chested beast man who showers in vodka and feeds his baby shrimp scampi.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Please welcome.
Ain't gonna hurt.
Live and local from the J. Michaels studio, the Coach James Hale Show, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Ron Moby, Bay Point, Jim Durant, all in here today. Big John's running the board. We hope you guys have a great weekend. Be safe out there. All right, I want to get into this. This is the post-spring football bowl projections. Here we go. Playoff teams. This is a little bit different. Peach Bowl. They got number 1 Alabama versus number 4 Utah. They have number 2 versus number 3. Number 2 Ohio State Buckeyes versus number 3 the Georgia Bulldogs in the Fiesta Bowl. Ron, can you look on your phone and see where the national championship game is going to be played? Because they have Alabama and Ohio State playing for the national championship. The Sugar Bowl, they've got Oklahoma versus Texas A&M, future SEC 2 teams in there. Rose Bowl, Michigan Wolverines versus Southern Cal. I do believe Southern Cal. It won't shock me if Southern Cal's in the playoffs this year. Cotton Bowl, they have Notre Dame versus Houston. The Orange Bowl, you have Clemson versus Wisconsin.
It's in SoFi Stadium where they played the Super Bowl this past
California.
year.
I told you.
Yep.
That's what I thought.
I forgot about that.
So that's a long trip. I will not be going to watch Alabama Ohio State play in the national championship game.
Pretty incredible stadium, though.
Yeah, that's
Bad
a long
location,
way.
but-
You imagine what a flight out there would cost? Probably by the end of the gas, probably $10 a gallon. Who knows?
Jet fuel may be a little different, but
yeah, we'll see. Anyway, let's get back to these bowl games. Tampa Bay Bowl, they got Tennessee versus NC State. Citrus Bowl, Michigan State versus Ole Miss. Tax Slayer Bowl, South Carolina versus Pitt. Texas Bowl, Texas Longhorns versus the Kentucky Wildcats. The Cheez-It Bowl, they got Miami versus Oklahoma State. Pinstripe Bowl, now Florida State's in this. I think Coach is going to be gone. Nebraska versus FSU.
In the Pinstripe Bowl?
In New York, yeah.
There you go.
In that freezing weather. Good luck with that.
You never know.
Music City Bowl. I'd like to go to that bowl game in Nashville. That'd be fun. Arkansas versus Iowa. It was Iowa, Kentucky, I think last year was.
I think so.
Yeah, that was a great game in Orlando. The Mayo Bowl, they got Louisville versus Penn State. Las Vegas Bowl, that's one we need to go to.
that's another awesome stadium.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. LSU versus Washington. Liberty Bowl, we got Kansas State versus University of Florida. The Florida Gators are going to Memphis. The Birmingham Bowl, you got Maryland versus Mississippi State. Military Bowl, you got Central Florida versus BC. Gasparilla Bowl, you got Auburn versus Virginia Tech. The
If
New
Auburn
Orleans
makes a bowl.
Huh?
If Auburn makes a bowl.
They got good luck. We're all thinking they're not going to be very good. They'll probably in the Sugar Bowl. New Orleans Bowl, I've been to that. That's fun. It's Alabama Birmingham versus App State. That's some of the bowl. I didn't write them all down. That's some of them that we mentioned. Any of them stand out where y'all go, there ain't no way that's going to happen. Let's go back to the top 6 one. Orange Bowl, Clemson, Wisconsin. I kind of got Clemson in the playoffs. What do y'all think? They're not in. They're going to go in the Orange Bowl. They're going to the playoffs.
Depends on what what are they going to start out the season with their ranking? Because if the teams ahead of them all win throughout the season, it may be tough with the 4 teams. But I think that's probably right.
You got them out. You got them in the
outside of the playoff.
Jim,
yeah. Sorry,
outside.
Linda.
I personally, I don't think Clemson will make the playoffs. I think USC will make the playoffs before Clemson does because they got an easier path.
I agree.
And I'm not sold on that.
South Carolina.
Ukulele or whatever his name is, that plays quarterback at Clemson. I don't think
Ukulele.
What's ukulele?
Oh, you're asking
I think it's
me.
don't ask him. I think it's
why
like
am I asking James?
Yeah, that sounds even better.
Who
Ukulele.
mispronounced T-U-A.
I think it's like Ungalele or something like
Ungalele?
that. Used to play at Illinois.
Yeah.
All right, I'm with you on Southern Cal. Listen, guys, they got 12 guys coming there that could start with anybody in the country.
Right.
12, not 1 or 2.
And they got
12
and they have
of
an
them.
easier conference.
And they got 53 coming back off the roster.
Right.
They're going to be good. And, if they can get by Utah and Oregon, there's nobody else out there can play with them. And Notre Dame, they got 3 games. They win those 3 games. They win 2 of the 3, they're in.
Yeah.
Well, and the
One
national
loss, they're in.
championship is played in Los Angeles.
Ooh, that's right.
Oh, there you go.
That would be pretty cool. All right, this team, do they get in, or these experts have it right? Does Notre Dame make it in with a brand new? I watched him in the first game he coached in. I'd say no, but everybody says they're pretty good. They got them in the Cotton Bowl. Is there any way Notre Dame makes the playoffs?
I don't think Notre Dame can get in with 1 loss, and if they lose to USC, then because
that could be a play-in game for both of them.
it could be. But again, kind of like the Clemson thing, if everybody else that's ranked ahead of them to start runs the table, I don't know if they all can because they probably have to play each other at some point. But
That's a really good point about where you start. I think it's overlooked a lot. It's hard to come from out of nowhere and just win them all.
You need a lot of stuff to happen. Yeah.
If everybody ahead of you does what they're supposed to do.
Does Notre Dame get in the playoffs? Yes or no?
No.
No.
Okay, good. Rose Bowl, Michigan versus Southern Cal. I keep saying watch out Southern Cal. Do they get it year 1? It'd be hard to do it. Can they do it? Yes.
Yeah, they have the capability.
Do they do it though?
If they don't make the playoff, then the Rose Bowl sounds like the right location.
Yeah. Do y'all think they do it year one with him? It won't shock me one bit, but
It's going to be hard, but like you said, it wouldn't be surprising if they did.
And I think they're going to have him down. Some of these polls, they'll be down.
Yeah,
pretty.
They're going to have to run the. They're going to have to not lose
I'm gonna
a
say
game.
no, but very shaky.
That's
no.
probably why they have whatever this thing is.
Yeah, they got him
why
in the
they
Rose
have
Bowl.
Utah in there.
All right, Oklahoma, Texas A&M. Either way, either one of those get in this year. I'm not saying
No.
Texas A&M. I say no.
No,
they're 2 years away. Oklahoma, brand new coach. I say no.
Yeah, I say no to both of them too.
So do they have it right? The only one I really question is Utah. I do think Bama stays healthy, they get in. I do think Georgia gets in. I do think Ohio State gets in. I think that's your three best teams in the country right there. If they're only if they're healthy. If they're healthy, those are the three best teams in college football. Who's the fourth best team?
I think that where they have Utah is the interchangeable one.
Yeah, no doubt.
Just like last year, Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, they're all in. But is it Utah? Is it Clemson? Is it USC? Is it Notre Dame? That's all. That other spot's always been the interchangeable one.
If it's somebody, and you're right, I agree with everything you said. But if there's someone else out there we're overlooking, could Baylor? They were 11-1 last year, 12-1.
Yeah.
Could Baylor be the surprise team this year? They got an easy path. Their defense is an unbelievable defense. They got most guys coming back. Do they have enough offense? I don't know. That's the only team I think that could surprise people. I'm trying to think, is anybody else out there? Is it FSU? No. Is there anybody else out there that's a surprise like Baylor could be?
Is it
BYU? I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean,
It has to be somebody who has an easy path. Houston.
Like an
All right, let's go the Lovebirds, the Yoke people. Houston, if they go undefeated with that easy schedule, and here we got a one-loss team and another conference. That's all we have for Cincinnati last year.
Yep.
Could Houston be the Cinderella team this year?
I mean, the committees like to get that. They love to get. I mean, they could not put Cincinnati in last year, but they love to get that parity with that non-power. That's Power 5, but it's gonna be really tough. But there's a path. There's a chance.
And Gus Malzahn year 2 usually pretty good. It's Central Florida. They got a pretty nice schedule. Who knows?
Do they have to play Florida? Or has
Is it
that
next
started
year?
yet?
I don't think it's
I
next
don't
year.
think so. I don't think
it's
this
next year.
season.
I got
Gotcha.
Florida's schedule. I don't think it's on there this year. I think it's
Yeah,
next
I don't think
year,
so.
in
Because
23.
games like that for him will help if they can win them.
Real quick before we get out of here, tell us one more time what everything's going on at Bay Point.
Lots of instructional opportunities, lots of junior instructional opportunities, lots of information found on our website as well as our Facebook page. Our website's baypointgolfclub.com. Check out our Facebook page. We got live music tonight, live music next Friday, trivia the 17th, and of course every Thursday we have our dinners. So come out and see us, come play golf, come eat food, come get some instruction. We also have a huge merchandise sale going on right now. We ran it through the end of May, but we're extending it through next Monday. Lots of polos on sale, shoes on polos. Everything's on sale in the golf shop. So
And they've
come by
got
and
some
see us.
great
It's looking great right
merchandise. I'm telling you. Jim, y'all had a good time on your vacation down at Disney?
Yeah, we did.
They have a lot of American flags out and everything.
Oh, yeah.
It was good. Okay, I'm glad to have you back in the saddle. John, you have a good weekend. Yes, sir. How much time I got? I got to keep talking. How many?
Be
What?
careful out there. Gulf Coast Jam going on.
How many? 30. What?
Now you only got 20.
We'll have to keep going. Hey, get it. Top Gun, go with us tonight. Jim and I might sneak out of there tomorrow and go to the Top Gun. Be careful on Back Beach
That's what
Road
you
with the
think.
traffic. You want to see Top Gun?
I hope so at some point. Just got to find the time.
You going to take the boy
Yeah.
and the girl?
Yeah. We'll take the whole family.
Get a mortgage.
Yep.
All right, we're out. David's got a great show lined up. The Underdogs, 4 to 6. Fine Bombs from 6 to 10. We are out. Make sure you listen to Braves right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Here's what's happening.
We are proud to partner with the Panama City Beach Chamber for the second annual Jam on the Coast 5K